Hey there, all you deep divers out there. Today, we're going deep on something that could really shake up the world of decentralized finance.
Oh, yeah.
BlockDAG Network.
Absolutely.
We've got a mountain of sources here, everything from like hardcore technical specs to the hype surrounding their upcoming testnet launch.
Right.
What's so cool is we're catching this project just before it potentially blows up. Giving you an exclusive behind-the-scenes look.
What I find really captivating about BlockDAG is they're not just trying to be another blockchain. They're building a full-fledged ecosystem, and this testnet launch, it's a major step forward.
Okay, so let's break down this testnet launch. I'm seeing September 20th everywhere. Why is everyone making such a big deal out of this date?
Well, up until now, BlockDAG had been operating in a DevNet, basically a private space for development and testing.
Yeah.
The testnet launch on September 20th is like opening the doors to the public. Anyone can jump in, developers, everyday users, anyone can play around with transactions, see how the platform works in a real world environment.
So it's not just about playing around, right? Yeah. It's a chance to kick the tires before things get serious.
Exactly.
What's fascinating to me is that they're letting everyone in on the action. Is this common for projects like this?
Not always. Some projects, they take a more closed approach to testing, but BlockDAG seems to be embracing transparency and community feedback right from the start. They want real users testing the network, finding bugs, and helping refine the platform before that official mainnet launch.
This is where it gets really interesting for me. The BlockDAG Explorer, they describe it as a super-powered microscope for the blockchain.
Right.
You can see everything that's going on right down to the type of transactions happening.
Exactly. The Explorer offers a level of transparency that's pretty unusual. You can actually track both UTXO and account-based transactions, something you don't see on many blockchains.
Hold on, UTXO and account-based, for those of us who aren't, blockchain wizards, could you unpack those terms a little bit?
Of course, UTXO stands for unspent transaction output. Imagine you have a physical coin and you break it into smaller pieces to make a purchase. Each piece becomes a new UTXO that can then be used in future transactions.
Okay.
It's about tracking individual coins and their journey.
Okay, so it's like a trail of breadcrumbs for each coin. What about account-based transactions? Those sound a little more familiar.
Account-based transactions are more like what we're used to with traditional bank accounts. You have a balance that gets updated with every deposit and withdrawal.
Okay.
BlockDAG's ability to handle both types of transactions opens up a lot of possibilities for different use cases.
That's impressive. So no matter what kind of transaction you're making, you can track where the money is going in real time. And to make things even more accessible, they have this Faucet-free test tokens, so you can experiment without risking any real money. Is that right?
Absolutely. The Faucet is a great way to dip your toes into the BlockDAG ecosystem without any financial risk. It's like they're providing the training wheels for your blockchain journey.
Now, for the coders and developers out there, I've got to ask about this EVM support. What's the big deal with that?
EVM stands for Ethereum Virtual Machine. Think of it as the engine that powers smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain.
Okay.
By supporting EVM, BlockDAG is essentially tapping into a massive pre-existing ecosystem of tools, resources, and most importantly, developers.
So instead of reinventing the wheel, they're building bridges to one of the most established blockchain platforms. That's a pretty smart move.
Yeah.
It seems like they're aiming to attract developers who are already familiar with Ethereum.
Precisely. It's a strategic move that allows BlockDAG to leverage the expertise and innovation happening within the Ethereum community. This compatibility could significantly accelerate their growth and development.
This all sounds incredibly promising, but let's get down to brass tacks. What are some of the key development highlights that you think our listeners should be aware of?
Well, one of the major selling points is their focus on scalability and speed. BlockDAG is designed to handle a high volume of transactions quickly and efficiently, which means faster confirmation times lower fees and a much smoother user experience overall.
No more waiting ages for transactions to go through. Sign me up. But in a world where security is so important, especially when it comes to finances, how is BlockDAG addressing that?
Security is definitely top of mind for them. They're implementing advanced protocols to protect the network from hacks and attacks. It's about building a system that people can trust with their assets.
And it seems they're not just focusing on the, tech wizards either, right? They're putting a lot of effort into creating a user-friendly interface for everyone, even those of us who aren't blockchain experts.
That's right. They understand that for blockchain technology to really go mainstream, it needs to be accessible to everyone. They're working on an interface that makes navigating the blockchain world as simple as browsing your favorite website.
Okay, so they've got the tech, the security, the user experience. But what about the financial backing? Did they manage to attract any significant investment during their pre-sale?
They did. BlockDAG raised a staggering $72 million in their pre-sale. That's not just pocket change. It indicates serious confidence from investors. They clearly see the potential of this project to disrupt the financial landscape.
$72 million is a pretty significant chunk of change. What do you think this says about the broader trend of decentralized finance? Is this just a flash in the pan, or is there something bigger at play here?
Well, we've seen a growing interest in decentralized finance over the past few years. People are becoming more aware of the limitations and potential risks of traditional financial systems. They're looking for alternatives that give them more control over their finances, and BlockDAG seems to be positioning itself at the forefront of this movement.
It's like they're tapping into a deep-seated desire for financial freedom and transparency. It'll be interesting to see if this translates into real-world adoption once the platform goes live.
That's the key question, isn't it? Will all this hype and potential translate into a platform that people actually use and benefit from? The testnet launch will give us a good indication of their progress and the direction they're heading in.
It's the first real test for BlockDAG, a chance to show the world what they're capable of.
And it's an opportunity for us, the curious observers, to get a glimpse into the future of finance and potentially be a part of something truly groundbreaking.
So, dear listener, are you ready to take the plunge with us? We're about to dive even deeper into the world of BlockDAG, exploring the intricacies of their unique approach to blockchain architecture. Get ready to unravel the mysteries of directed acyclic graphs and discover how they're paving the way for a new era of decentralized finance.
It's fascinating to see a project like BlockDAG challenge, that conventional wisdom of how blockchains are built. Their use of a directed acyclic graph, or DAG for short, really sets them apart.
Okay, DAG, that's a term I've seen floating around, but honestly, it sounds kind of intimidating.
Right.
Can you break it down for us, like in a way that even I can understand?
Absolutely. Imagine a traditional blockchain, like a single-track railway line. Transactions are like trains, moving along in a single line, one after another. This can lead to delays and bottlenecks, especially during peak times.
So like rush hour on the blockchain.
Exactly. Now imagine a BlockDAG as a multi-lane highway.
Okay.
Multiple transactions can happen simultaneously, speeding up the entire process. That's the power of the DAG structure. It allows for parallel processing, leading to greater scalability and efficiency.
Okay, that analogy makes a lot more sense.
Good.
But if things are happening all over the place, how do they make sure that everything stays organized and secure? How do they prevent chaos on this blockchain highway?
That's where their unique consensus mechanism comes in.
Okay.
Confirmation by multiple paths. Imagine you're planning a road trip and you ask several friends for directions. If they all give you different routes that lead to the same destination,
right,
you'd be pretty confident that you're on the right track, right?
Yeah, it's like having multiple confirmations, so you're not just relying on one source of information.
Exactly. In BlockDAG, new blocks are added to the graph, and they become confirmed if they are referenced by multiple paths within the network. This ensures that the information is consistent and trustworthy.
So the more interconnected a block is within the network, the more secure it becomes. It's like a web of trust where each connection reinforces the overall integrity of the system.
Precisely, this approach to consensus is what makes BlockDAG so intriguing. It moves away from the traditional energy-intensive models like proof of work and offers a potentially more efficient, sustainable way to secure a blockchain.
This all sounds incredibly impressive from a technological standpoint, but I'm curious about the, broader implications. What kind of real-world problems could a platform like BlockDAG potentially solve?
Well, one of the biggest issues facing decentralized finance right now is scalability.
Yeah.
Many existing platforms struggle to handle a high volume of transactions, which leads to slow processing times and high fees.
Right.
BlockDAG's architecture is designed to address this issue head-on, potentially making DeFi more accessible to a wider audience.
So it's not just about making things faster and cheaper, but about opening up the world of decentralized finance to people who might have been excluded before because of technical limitations.
Exactly. Imagine a world where cross-border payments are instantaneous and cost-effective, where microtransactions can occur seamlessly, and where individuals have more control over their financial data and assets. These are just some of the possibilities that BlockDAG is exploring.
It sounds like they're aiming to build a financial system that's more inclusive, transparent, and efficient. But let's be realistic. What are some of the potential challenges or hurdles they might face along the way?
Well, one challenge is the need for widespread adoption for BlockDAG to really thrive. They need to attract a critical mass of users and developers. That means building a platform that's not only technically sound, but also user-friendly and appealing to a broad audience.
So it's not just about building a better mousetrap, it's about convincing people to actually use it.
Exactly. They need to create a compelling ecosystem that incentivizes participation and fosters innovation. Another challenge is the regulatory landscape. Decentralized finance is still a relatively new and evolving space, and regulators around the world are still figuring out how to approach it. BlockDAG will need to navigate this evolving regulatory landscape carefully to ensure they're operating within, legal frameworks.
It sounds like they're walking a tightrope between pushing the boundaries of innovation while also adhering to existing regulations.
Yes, it's a delicate balance, but the team behind BlockDAG seems to be aware of these challenges and they're actively working to address them.
Okay.
They're engaging with regulators, building partnerships, and focusing on creating a platform that's both secure and compliant.
That's reassuring to hear. They're not just burying their heads in the sand and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
They're proactively engaging with the real-world complexities of launching a groundbreaking financial platform.
Precisely, and that's what sets BlockDAG apart from many other projects in this space. They're not just focused on the technology itself, they're thinking about the bigger picture, the human element, the regulatory landscape, and the long-term sustainability of their vision.
This brings us back to the upcoming testnet launch. What are some key things that our listeners should be looking for as this unfolds? What are the make or break moments that will determine whether BlockDAG can live up to its potential?
Well, one key indicator will be the performance of the network itself.
Yeah.
Can it handle a significant volume of transactions without experiencing delays or glitches? How do the transaction speeds and fees compare to existing DeFi platforms? These are the kind of real-world metrics that will determine whether their technology lives up to the hype.
So it's not just about theoretical promises, but about seeing how the platform performs under pressure in a real-world environment.
Exactly. Another key aspect is the user experience. Is the platform intuitive and easy to navigate, even for those who are new to blockchain technology? Do the developer tools live up to their expectations, making it easy for developers to build and deploy applications on the BlockDAG network?
It sounds like they need to find that sweet spot between a robust, secure platform and a user-friendly experience that doesn't scare away newcomers.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about community engagement. Is BlockDAG fostering a vibrant and active communities of developers, users, and enthusiasts? Are they responding to feedback and addressing concerns in a timely and transparent manner?
So it's about more than just the tech. It's about building a community that believes in the vision and is actively involved in shaping the future of the platform.
Precisely, the success of BlockDAG will depend on their ability to cultivate a strong and supportive community that champions their vision and helps them navigate the inevitable challenges that lie ahead.
We've covered a lot of ground here, from the technical intricacies of DAGs to the broader implications for the future of finance. But before we wrap things up, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, the potential for BlockDAG to disrupt traditional financial systems. Do you really think they have the power to shake things up that dramatically?
It's certainly a possibility. Decentralized finance is still in its early stages, but it has the potential to fundamentally change the way we think about money, banking, and financial services.
But aren't there powerful forces, governments, banks, established financial institutions, that might resist this kind of disruption? How can a project like BlockDAG overcome that kind of entrenched opposition?
It's true that there will be resistance from those who benefit from the current system, but history has shown us time and again that technological innovation can be a powerful force for change. The internet, for example, disrupted traditional media communication and commerce in ways that were once unimaginable.
So you're saying that BlockDAG to finance what the internet was, to information a catalyst for a paradigm shift?
It's certainly a possibility, but it won't happen overnight. It will require continued innovation, widespread adoption, and a commitment to building a more inclusive and equitable financial system that benefits everyone, not just a select few.
This is all incredibly thought-provoking. We've explored the potential, the challenge, the vision behind BlockDAG, but now I want to turn it over to you, our listener. What are your thoughts on this journey so far? Are you excited about the possibilities of decentralized finance? Do you have any burning questions about BlockDAG?
Share your insights, your hopes, your skepticism. Let's continue this conversation together, because the future of finance is being written right now, and we all have a role to play in shaping it.
And as we delve even deeper into the world of BlockDAG in our next segment, we'll be exploring the specific features and functionalities that make this platform unique. We'll take a closer look at the BlockDAG Explorer, the Faucet, the EVM support, and all the tools that make this platform tick. All right, deep divers, it's time to roll up our sleeves and get hands-on with BlockDAG. We've talked concepts, we've pondered possibilities now. Let's explore the actual tools and features that bring this whole thing to life.
And there's a lot to unpack here. BlockDAG isn't just about innovative architecture. They're building a suite of tools designed to make decentralized finance accessible and, dare I say, enjoyable for everyone.
That's what I'm most curious about the user experience we've touched on, the BlockDAG Explorer, the Faucet, and EVM support. Let's break these down one by one, starting with the Explorer. What makes it so special?
Think of the BlockDAG Explorer as a high-powered dashboard for the entire network. It's not just about viewing transactions, it's about understanding the flow of value-tracking trends and even identifying potential opportunities.
Okay, that sounds intriguing, but I'm a visual person. Can you paint me a picture of what I would actually see when I open up the Explorer?
Imagine a map of the blockchain, but instead of geographical locations, you're seeing blocks, transactions, and the connections between them. You can zoom in to view the details of a specific transaction or zoom out to see the overall activity on the network.
So it's like having X-ray vision into the blockchain, seeing the skeleton of the entire system. What kind of insights could I gain from exploring this map?
You could track the movement of specific tokens, identify popular trading pairs, or even analyze the activity of certain addresses to understand network trends for developers. It's an invaluable tool for debugging smart contracts and monitoring the performance of their applications.
This sounds incredibly powerful. But let's be honest, blockchain technology can be a little intimidating for newcomers. Is the Explorer user-friendly enough for someone who's just starting out in the DeFi world?
That's one of BlockDAG's key goals, to make blockchain technology accessible to everyone. They've put a lot of effort into designing an intuitive interface that's easy to navigate, even for beginners. They're even incorporating interactive tutorials and guides directly within the Explorer to help users get up to speed quickly.
So they're not just throwing you into the deep end and expecting you to swim. They're providing floaties and swimming lessons. I like that approach.
Exactly, and for those who are ready to dive in headfirst, the Explorer offers advanced features and customization options that will satisfy even the most experienced blockchain enthusiasts.
Okay, so the Explorer is our window into the BlockDAG universe. What about the Faucet? We mentioned that gives you free test tokens, but what's the real purpose behind that?
The Faucet is all about experimentation, and learning it allows anyone to get hands-on experience with the platform without risking any real money. You can send test transactions, interact with smart contracts, and get a feel for how everything works in a safe environment.
So it's like a sandbox for playing around with DeFi, trying out different strategies and learning the ropes before you jump into the real game.
Precisely. It's a brilliant way to lower the barrier to entry and encourage more people to explore the world of decentralized finance. And it's not just for beginners. Experienced developers can use the Faucet to test their applications, experiment with new features, and gather feedback from the community before deploying their projects on the mainnet.
It sounds like they've really thought this through, creating an ecosystem that caters to both newcomers and seasoned veterans. Now let's talk about EVM support, arguably one of the most significant features for the developer community. Why is this such a big deal?
EVM compatibility is a game changer for BlockDAG's growth potential by supporting the Ethereum virtual machine. They're opening the doors to a vast ecosystem of existing tools, libraries, and most importantly, developers.
So it's like they're building a bridge to the Ethereum world, inviting developers to bring their skills and expertise to the BlockDAG ecosystem.
Exactly. Imagine you're a developer who's already familiar with Solidity, the programming language used for Ethereum smart contracts with EVM support. You can seamlessly port your existing code to BlockDAG, saving time and effort.
It's like they're speaking the same language, eliminating the need for a translator, but isn't relying on Ethereum's EVM, potentially limiting in the long run. Couldn't it hinder BlockDAG's ability to innovate and differentiate itself?
That's a valid concern. However, BlockDAG views EVM compatibility as a strategic stepping stone. It allows them to rapidly bootstrap their ecosystem, attract a critical mass of developers, and gain traction in the market.
So it's about leveraging the power of an existing community while simultaneously working towards their own unique vision.
Exactly. BlockDAG has made it clear that they're not just replicating Ethereum, they're building upon its foundation, incorporating their own innovations like the DAG architecture and confirmation by multiple paths consensus mechanism to create a platform that's both familiar and groundbreaking.
It's like they're taking the best of both worlds, combining the strengths of an established platform with their own forward-thinking vision as we wrap up our deep dive into BlockDAG. I'm left with a sense of both excitement and cautious optimism. They've got a lot of promising pieces in place, but it remains to be seen how it will all come together in practice.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? We're witnessing the birth of a potentially transformative technology, and there's still so much to discover. The testnet launch will be a crucial proving ground, providing valuable insights into the platform's capabilities and limitations.
It's a chance for BlockDAG to demonstrate that they're not just all talk and hype, but that they have a real working product that can deliver on its promises. And for us, the curious observers, it's an opportunity to witness the evolution of decentralized finance firsthand.
Whether BlockDAG becomes the next big thing in DeFi or fades into obscurity, the journey itself is fascinating to watch. It's a testament to the power of human ingenuity and our relentless pursuit of innovation.
And it all circles back to that fundamental question: what does the future of finance look like? Will it be decentralized, transparent, and accessible to all? Or will the old guard maintain its grip on power?
Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure: the world of finance is undergoing a seismic shift, and projects like BlockDAG are at the forefront of this transformation.
So, dear listener, we've reached the end of our deep dive into BlockDAG Network. We've explored the technology, the vision, the potential, and the challenges. Now it's your turn to take the reins.
Do your own research, explore the platform, ask questions, challenge assumptions. The world of decentralized finance is full of possibilities, and it's up to each of us to shape the future we want to see.
And remember, the journey doesn't end here. The testnet launch is just the beginning. The real adventure starts when you step into the BlockDAG ecosystem and begin exploring for yourself. Until next time, deep divers, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay engaged. The future of finance is in your hands.